When it came to holiday spirit, Willie's never had it.
It's not real.
Well, it was real. I got sick and all the hair fell out.
How'd you get sick?
I loved a woman that wasn't clean.
Mrs. Santa?
That was her sister.
Oh, no.
Where's your sleigh?
It's in the shop.
Where's the reindeer?
I stable them.
Where's the stable?
Next to the shop.
How do they sleep?
Are you messing with me?
There's something about the guy that makes me uneasy.
Now, a hopeless kid
Wedgie.
and a Santa nobody liked are teaching each other a lesson.
Is that your underwear?
Part of it.
Where's the rest of it? Actually, I don't want to know. Put your dukes up. You got to learn to stand up for yourself.
Oh, no.
Scream at him.
Jeez.
He is pathetic.
Scream! Be loud!
You don't hit in the...
What's wrong with you? He's just a kid.
I told you I didn't want to do this, huh? Oh, good.
The naughtiest guy in town just might discover
He's a really sweet kid, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess so.
how to be nice.
Good night, Santa. Good night, Mrs. Santa's sister. Santa!
Billy Bob Thornton, Bernie Mac, Tony Cox. Bad Santa.
I beat up some kids today, but it's for a purpose. It made me feel good about myself.
Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth, the show where we review anything and everything that was somehow released by the Walt Disney Corporation. I am your host, as always, Ryan Johnson, and joining me today is the lovely Gillian's.
Hi.
And welcome to our very first holiday episode of the Happiest Cast on Earth. Over the next few weeks and pretty much every episode remaining for the rest of the year, we will be discussing Christmas, holiday, and winter-related Disney-owned or produced media. Gillian, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. It's really cold outside, though. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's a very, very chilly afternoon here in good old Athens, West Virginia, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
Has all the cold of the Christmas time, but no beautiful snow to look at, just the gray skies and the crusty grass.
Exactly. Like, if it's going to be cold, snow.
Exactly, you know? But, hey, we're not here to talk about snow because the movie in question doesn't have any snow in it, so... This week, we're talking about yet another Miramax production, which was owned by Disney at some point, and this is probably... And I do believe probably the most un-Disney thing that we have talked about for this entire series thus far. And just a couple weeks ago, we looked at an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So
I've never seen that show.
it's a great show. You should honestly check it out. But we're not here to talk about It's Always Sunny. No, this week we are going to be taking a look at the Christmas classic Bad Santa. Now, Gillian, I have to ask, what is your connection and previous relationship with the film Bad Santa?
So I actually have never watched it before yesterday. So I knew of its existence, but I had never actually seen it or heard anything about it. I had no clue what I was going into.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar vein to you, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Mainly because, well, I know a lot about it mainly through general pop culture. Like, a lot of the clips from it have made its ways around, I think, just about, I wouldn't say every Christmas season, but definitely, like, every couple of years, I see clips circling on TikTok or something like that. And it's usually, like, the very funny, raunchy clips that get on TikTok. And full disclosure, I just want to say right off the bat, this is going to be a very difficult film to discuss live on the radio because a lot of the best jokes we cannot discuss without the FCC fining us. So we're going to describe some of the best jokes as vaguely as possible, which honestly should make you want to watch the movie even more because, you know, as Mark Twain once said, explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but it's dead.
I didn't know he said that, but it is very true.
He did say that, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Quote Mark Twain on that. So yeah, Bad Santa, I did know exactly what I was going to get into because, well, you've seen the poster. Look at it. It's like, I feel like if people just look at the poster, see the age rating, and the fact that the movie is titled Bad Santa,
Yeah.
they should know exactly what they're going to get themselves into.
When I was looking at it, I was like, okay, so this is going to be like more of a older audience type, but I was like, oh wow, I don't even think I'd let like my 13 or 14-year-old watch this. This is like a lot.
Yes, this film definitely gets into some dark subject matter, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very dark comedy, but you know, it is still Christmas comedy at the end of the day. And one could say that Bad Santa is the textbook definition of the not your ordinary Christmas movie. Because even like, I mean, before then there were like a few examples of like films that like, oh, this isn't your ordinary Christmas movie. Like some of the big ones that come to mind are like Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Die Hard, Gremlins, or even Nightmare Before Christmas to an extent. And, you know, after this film came out, there were movies like Krampus or The Night Before or Violent Night. And pretty much, but like, I don't think any movie that like tries to be an unconventional Christmas film really has been able to match or surpass Bad Santa in terms of unironically being considered a Christmas classic when it's not really trying to be that. But of course, we will get into that later into the discussion.
I completely agree though. Like, it's definitely like, how is this about Christmas? Mm-hmm. It's like, it is Christmas, but it's not Christmas.
Yeah, it's definitely a fascinating film to talk about, even if we can't really talk about everything without getting sued.
Winter means more chances to be stranded in a snowbank. The DMV wants you to be sure to have an emergency kit in your vehicle. To start, be sure to have a spare tire with you and tools needed to change it out. Here are a few items to help you survive. Flares, a blanket, boots, radio, emergency oil, washer fluid, coolant, and a flashlight. WVCU wants you to be ready for whatever this season brings your way.
And now, our feature presentation.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. So, Bad Santa. That ain't very bad. It's not a bad movie at all. It's actually a really good movie. It's a really great movie. Great Santa.
Great Santa's a stretch. His character wasn't exactly great.
No, I'm not talking about the character. I'm talking about the movie.
Okay.
Like,
maybe good Santa.
Good Santa.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, I think.
Well, save your hate till later. The rating's supposed to come till later in the episode, but spoilers. God, I guess we don't. I guess you guys don't have to listen to the rest of this. If you log off now, I will make Santa find you.
Right.
So, anyways, before we get into like the nitty gritties of it, I actually watched this movie on Hulu because it's technically a Disney property, and the weirdest thing about watching it is that for whatever reason, Hulu was recommending that I watch The Amazing World of Gumball after this.
Oh. I watched the showing for me on HBO Max, and I think the movie recommended after was actually, I think it was It. But I think that's just because I've been watching a lot of It related content recently.
That's strange. you'd think they'd recommend like another Christmas movie, or at least something like in the same like genre, but like I don't know, Gumball and It, very weird recommendations.
Definitely a strange set of recommendations.
Another weird thing that for some reason when I clicked on the movie, it automatically set it to like the Spanish dub of the movie.
Okay, that did not happen for me. Mine was in English.
I don't know what's going on with the version of the movie on Hulu through your HBO Max subscription, but it's clearly very messed up. Speaking of messed up, I should probably get the elephant out of the room. The Weinsteins were very clearly present in the opening credits, so because hey, Miramax, this is something that's gonna have to be brought up every time I bring their names. It's gonna be a runner. Every time I see their names in the credits, this has to be a runner. But yeah, this film was very interesting because with the Weinsteins, because it has some corrupt bosses in there, but not as crazy as Scream 3, where the corrupt boss is a movie producer.
That is true, and that is a really good movie too. I love Scream. I
Yeah,
love the Scream franchise actually.
Yeah, we'll probably have you on the show whenever if we ever get Scream 3 or something like that.
I'd love to be here.
Yeah. So the movie opens, finally getting into the movie itself. The movie opens with our titular Santa, his name is Willie, just getting completely plastered in the suit at a bar, saying stuff on how like he was beat as a kid and his life is down the toilet, and completely drunk he walks into an alleyway, passes out and pukes and passes out, and we just get the title. This is probably, not to mention like there's also orchestral Christmas music underneath. This is probably the perfect way you could open this movie. It gives you everything you need to know right off the bat. It tells you like exactly the type of movie you are in for within just a few short minutes.
Having never seen it before, that opening scene, I was like, what in the world is going on right now? Like, what am I about to watch? Because I think it was perfect with the like classical music like underneath of it, the scene as well, because it's like, okay, here's like this chaotic, like non-traditional Christmas scene with just, I think it was the Nutcracker underneath of it.
It was either, I think it might have been the Nutcracker. I don't think it was, for whatever reason my brain was about to say Silent Night, but Silent Night's in a later scene. It was probably Nutcracker.
I think it was definitely something from the Nutcracker. It might not be the Nutcracker suite, but I think it's definitely from that ballet.
Yeah, so the opening scene before the title even is just perfect, followed by the next scene where, you know, he's doing his job as a mall Santa and he just completely does not care.
No, he does not.
Like he's swearing in front of the kids. He's like, I don't think his beard's even on fully. He doesn't try to sound like Santa Claus. He even pees his pants like on the job in the chair, and his elf partner played by crap, I know his name, but I can't remember it right off the top of my head.
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
I think it's Tony Todd or something. I think that's his name. Tony Todd, yeah. He's his elf, and he's trying to like put on a clean image for the job, but Santa clearly does not care. And so immediately after that, we get an even more establishment on what this is supposed to be. That the whole reason these two have these jobs as a Santa and elf is so that they can rob the mall with all its money. And this is like a rotation that they do every single year. They get jobs as a Santa and elf. They rob the mall on Christmas Eve. they spend all the money in a year, and come next Christmas time, they're back at it again. The cycle continues.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And when we did get to that part and we did learn about it, I was like, oh, okay. This is okay. Very creative. Like,
It's a neat, it's a very like neat idea for like a movie about like a mall Santa.
yeah, for sure.
Which, like, basically the closest thing I think we have to like a Christmas heist movie in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like, I also think it's. I also want to clarify that like, the only thing I really knew going into this was in terms of like how bad the Santa could be. I only thought that like, he was like a drunk. He would swear in front of the kids. He'd have sex all the time, stuff like that. I was definitely not expecting him to also be a robber as well. So
Yeah, and
a criminal.
I think the amount of money they said in the beginning was like $110,000 that they stole from that mall, which is like a felony charge. So not only does he drink a lot and swear in front of children, he's a felon.
Yeah, and we flash forward to the next Christmas. He's in Miami, good old Willie, and early at the bar he says, I'm gonna open my own bar, which it's very appropriate for an alcoholic to open his own bar. And and for a moment you're like, oh, look at that, he made the bar. Wonder what's gonna happen to get him back into it. It's not actually his bar. He was just behind it, trying to make a drink.
Yeah, when I saw that scene, I was like, oh, wow, he actually did it. Like, he said, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to open a bar. I'm going to get a wife. And I'm like, okay, you did it. Good job. And then it went immediately downhill. It was like, okay, you don't even work there. Like, you can't be making yourself a drink behind the bar.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah, he goes back to another mall with his old buddy. He gets a job there at the mall, despite the fact that not himself, he completely screws up the interview process by referring to his instrument as an F stick.
Uh-huh.
This movie's funny. That was probably the first joke that, first of all, that joke is absolutely crazy coming from a movie produced by the freaking Weinsteins. Second of all, that was probably the first joke in this movie that actively made me laugh out loud. Like,
yeah, I agree. Definitely.
Like, that was probably I think I've heard the clip before, but I just wasn't expecting it. And I was like, oh my God. And,
I mean, sometimes even if you know that something is going to be in a movie, it's still funny.
mm-hmm.
Like, but
because you get the context now for what it's like.
Exactly.
And so after this, he starts his job as the mall Santa. He's drunk, swearing in front of the kids.
The usual.
Yeah. And it's at this point in the movie where we're introduced to two major characters. One is like the head of the mall, who is getting clued in on what exactly the Santa and elf are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is this kid who we first see, and his face is just covered with dried up snot. And could I just say something about this kid? I think that it is very funny how they managed to make this kid look like the most pathetic child in the world. Like,
really
it's almost sad, just like not in like a cutesy way. It's just like, wow, this kid is like actually unappealing. Like,
He, low-key, his outfits kind of reminded me of the outfits that like Will Ferrell would wear in The Step Brothers. He just kind of looked sad all the time.
Yeah, he's so sad. He always has stuff all over his face and his gross. He's such a clueless dumb kid for the most part.
He was cute though, I think.
Yeah, I don't even think that's what the movie's trying to do. I think it's just like, oh, this kid's like ugly.
Yeah, I don't think it was on purpose. I think that just with the context of the movie and just how this, like, you first meet the kid, he's like getting off a bus, and he's just walking past this group of bullies, and they start picking on him, and he's just ignoring them, and you just kind of feel bad. You're like, oh,
he's
like you're getting picked on, and you can't even stand up for yourself. Like
it's just his normal day for him.
Yeah, it's just like another day.
And yeah, after he sits on Santa's lap. After that, the day's over, and lo and behold, Santa goes out to the bar and he hooks up with the waitress, who's mainly hooking up with him because she is attracted to the fact that he's dressed as Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's kind of like ooh, you're Santa. I was never allowed to celebrate Christmas as a kid.
Yeah, because her father was Jewish, right?
Yeah, pretty sure. And I was thinking, okay, lady, you kind of freaky. But, I mean, you do you. If you know, playing hot potato with a children's holiday mascot is what gets you going, I guess you do you.
That is an interesting way to phrase that.
I hope we don't get in trouble for this episode at all. I don't think we're going to get in trouble because we're definitely, like, prancing around a lot of like, the specific things.
It's definitely a hard episode to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best movie choice.
Hey, man, don't blame me. Blame the randomizer that selected this. Because everything's selected randomly.
Oh, lovely.
So, like, anyways, we move back to Santa, who the cops get on his apartment. Not his apartment, his hotel room. And so he has to ditch, and he ends up crashing with the kid.
Yeah.
He crashes with the kid because earlier in the movie, he had to take the kid home. I just realized I said all this out of order, even looking at my notes.
It's okay. It happens.
But I think it's really funny on how like immediately he sees the kid's house and is thinking how he's gonna rob it.
He puts a ski mask on and everything. He's like, is there anybody else home?
And the kid's like, there's grandma in there, but she didn't do much. and he goes into the safe and just takes all the money, steals his dad's car. And the kid is like, oh, my dad, he's off on an adventure. Turns out he's in prison.
Yeah, dad's in jail.
And this entire time, throughout the entire course of the movie, the kid is convinced that Willie is actually Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he sees him take the beard off and wear like street clothes and everything like that, it doesn't even try to sound like Santa. It's he's convinced like this is Santa. At least we think at the moment. We think it at the moment. And it's at this point where things start to turn, but we will get to those turns later after we take a quick little break, so we will be right back.
Just like my health teacher said, protection is important, but guns aren't the answer. Mass shootings, especially those in schools, are issues that plague the U.S. Here at WVCU, we recommend to reach out and help those in need, because a gun-free school is a safe and happy school. Hey, assistant.
Yes?
Play some WVCU.
Opening the WVCU app.
Wait, WVCU has an app?
Indeed. For both Apple and Android, the WVCU app can be played anywhere.
Even if I'm far away from the station?
Yes, you can search WVCU on the App Store for Mountain Lion Radio on the go.
Thanks, assistant.
Anytime. I only play the best.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. So, let's talk about the sandwiches.
Why? What is the deal with the sandwiches?
So throughout the entire course of the movie, there's this running gag where both the kid and his grandma wants to make Santa's sandwiches.
Let's make everybody sandwiches.
Yeah, just really everybody sandwiches. But Santa doesn't really like sandwiches, and he's always like, "Why? I don't want a sandwich. What do you want sandwiches?" I think the purpose of this joke is really just to. It's really just to be funny. It's like such a because like the kid himself, is so out of left field with a lot of the things he'll say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fact that he's dead set on these sandwiches, he's like, "You want sandwiches? I can make you sandwiches. I'm good at making sandwiches."
I wondered if at one point maybe he picked it up from the grandma. Like,
Yeah,
grandma
probably.
was just like, that's what she wants to do. She wants to make sandwiches. She wants to make food for her grandson because she's the sole caretaker of her grandson. And he, being an awkward little boy, is just like, "Do you want a sandwich? Can I make you a sandwich?"
Yeah. And with that being said, I gotta say, this kid is definitely autistic.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
but it's okay though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like even the sequel kind of like, which we'll talk about the sequel later. I'm pretty sure like the sequel hinted, or I'm pretty sure even like flat out confirms, yes, the kid is autistic.
Yeah,
He's
it
really
would make
on the
sense for at
spectrum
least
somewhat.
his like personality and attributes for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So a couple more things I want to mention about that kid. He's also really obsessed with this nativity advent calendar that retells the story of the nativity. And there's this great scene, like with revolving the advent calendar, where Santa just gets completely drunk at the house, and he looks at the calendar, just rips into it, and eats all of the chocolate in there.
Yeah. When
And-
he's sober, he tries to fix it up too.
Yeah.
And he puts candy corn in there.
He puts candy corn and aspirin.
Yeah. That was the other one, wasn't it? Because he opens it twice more from that point, I think. And one of them is candy corn, and then one of them is aspirin.
And like, really, the advent calendar. You could say that like the advent calendar really is like the start of Willie's arc, in a sense, because from that point forward, he does actively like. Oh, I probably wouldn't say actively, like a little bit tries to like be better for the kid.
He's like a dad that is trying but not trying. He's like, I'm a dad, kind of.
I consider him more of like an uncle.
Yeah, definitely. He's like
Uncle Willie.
He's like the uncle who's like, I guess I'm babysitting you.
Yeah, he's like the uncle that's not super present in the kid's life, but it's like he's still family in a sense.
He's trying.
He's trying in a way. But something I really appreciate about this movie in general is that, yeah, it is like technically like a broken man, kid comes into his life, learns to appreciate the kid, but it doesn't try to be like sappy or like super duper Christmassy. Like, it is still a dark comedy at the end of the day, and like this movie does have some like nasty stuff in it.
It's definitely not like a, oh wow, I'm so heartfelt and I'm like a Hallmark movie. It's like
it's not preachy in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. It's just raw and like mean and gross, because that's what life is.
Yeah, exactly. I think it might be exaggerated a little bit from like how life can
for
be,
comedic
but like,
effect,
But yeah,
yes.
for comedic effect, of course.
But it is definitely. But there is, because I feel like every Christmas story has to have like a moral attached to it. And this movie does have a moral at the very end of it, and it does. The moral, it's technically not a very Christmassy moral, but it does fit more with the characters.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Another thing about the kid, this is probably my favorite. comedic dialogue exchange is when the kid when the kid gets beat up, and like his underwear is like outside of his pants, and he's cracking up just trying to think about it. He goes to see Santa, and Santa is like, if I ever came home crying, you want to know what my daddy did? He said, and the kid says, he make you feel better? Santa says, no. Check, see if I can say this word. No, he kicked my ass. And
yeah, I was
and
definitely
like, he was,
whoa, okay.
and he's like, you want to know why he did that? The kid's like, because he went to the bathroom on mommy's dishes.
Yeah, that was like
What
so
the
random. Like, did you do that, kid? Like, what?
What sells it is Santa's reaction. It's just like, WTF?
Yeah, he's definitely like, what? No?
That's probably going to be one of my new favorite things. Because he went to the bathroom on mommy's dishes. I'm so glad that the funniest thing in this movie we can say on the air, because my God, the wedgie scene is probably the best scene in the movie.
Also, that was one heck of a wedgie. Like there was
know,
like
it's like
8 or 9 bullies, and they just got him on all sides and pulled
Like,
his underwear. And
his
it's like,
underwear is like completely outside of his pants and is still on him.
yeah.
That poor kid. I also want to point out the fact that that the kid is played by the same actor who played the fat kid that got poisoned from candy in Trick or Treat.
Is he really? I thought he looked familiar. I love that movie.
Yeah, so I kind of feel bad for like the actor who played the kid, because
Man, he's had it rough.
That is 2 holiday movies where he's just playing the most pathetic child in the world, and they're both holiday classics.
But you know what? At least only in one movie does he die. So he's only got one death.
But he's very pathetic and bad Santa.
He is. Poor guy. Like,
speaking of being very pathetic, throughout this whole movie, the elf is basically just constantly bashing down on Willie, because Willie is a very pathetic man. Even this felon can say, dude, you're pathetic.
mm-hmm.
You're always drunk all the time. You're always hitting random women in the backside.
Sleeping around, yeah.
Sleeping around. Like, you're always swearing at the kids. You're always drunk on the job. You're pathetic. You make this operation look bad, and you're also bad in the heist too. So
yeah, there was one point, I think in the beginning, that he was like, you used to be able to crack safes open faster than this. Like, what, you're going downhill or something like that.
Yeah, and it gets bad to the point where Willie knows he sucks, and he tries to off himself in the garage, and then the kid walks in, and he's like, Santa, what are you doing?
Yeah, oh my God, that scene was so sad. And he like gave him the note and was like, give this to the police. I was like, oh.
But then things start to turn around when Willie realizes that the kid got beaten up, and so he beats up the bullies for him.
Yeah.
Which you could say, hey, that's a grown man beating up a bunch of kids, but I don't know. It feels right.
I mean, it's like, obviously a grown man shouldn't be beating up a bunch of kids, but he was kind of like standing up for this kid that he has kind of an attachment to. And also, I'm pretty sure that kid's bullies are significantly older than him. Like, the kid in the movie, his name is Thurman.
Yes.
Thurman Merman.
Thurman Merman is the kid's name.
He looks like maybe he's like 8 or 9. He's not very old. And the kids that are bullying him look like they're like 13, 14 years old. Like, what are you doing picking on like an 8-year-old? You're like a teenager.
The kid's not even responding to you. Like, do these bullies actively have nothing better to do except like bully a 9-year-old?
Yeah, and they always like wait at the bus stop. And they're like, well, there he is again. Like, do you just wait for him? Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. And so after this encounter, Willie tries to teach himself defense, which goes over very poorly because he keeps hitting people in the nether regions, and you're not supposed to do that. And this point is where you could say that the movie's taking a bit of a heartwarming turn. But before we get to that, it is worth noting that the head of the mall actually finds out that they're felons.
Yeah.
What's really funny about it is that he actually wants in on the crime.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, I'm not going to get you guys in trouble. I want 50% of your profit.
The negotiating scene is so funny. He keeps trying to like...
Yeah. It's like, what, they started with 30 and he was like half. And then they were like 35 and he was like half.
Like they keep going lower and the guy's always like half. I want half.
And one time he did it in a British voice. He was like, half. Just like, what the heck?
I wish this episode could just reduce to us just reciting our favorite jokes, but we really can't do that. Sorry, but it's such a funny movie. It's really funny.
It was like, pretty good.
That scene and the wedgie scene are probably, well, the wedgie scene is probably my favorite scene. The negotiating scene is probably my second.
I did enjoy the negotiating scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny.
Really funny bits, very witty. And, it's at this point where things actually start to get heartwarming, at least for this movie.
Heartwarming, I would say, like, you took the heart out of the freezer and it's thawing, but it doesn't warm up. It's still cold. It's just not nice anymore.
So early in the movie, the kid cut his hand really freaking bad.
Yes.
Like there was screams of terror. And at this point, we find out why he cut his hand is because he was carving a present for Willie.
I think it was supposed to be, I don't know if you guys heard of like the Christmas pickle.
Yes, the Christmas pickle.
But it's like, if you put a pickle on your Christmas tree, it like keeps the bad spirits away or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was
it's covered in dried up blood.
It's covered in blood because he cut his hand open.
And it's also at this point where eventually like Willie crashes out and admits that he's not Santa Claus. But it was great that the kid knew the whole time.
Yeah, the kid was like, I know. I just thought we were friends. I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is very sad. It is very sad. It's very because like I think the kid just called him Santa because he didn't know what else to tell him because Willie like kind of kept the Santa act up.
A little bit. There was only like one time that he said that like, oh yeah, my name is Willie, and it was to the neighbor who came over and was like, yeah, I'm doing decorations for like all of the streets in this little part of town. This is my first year. I don't want any like blank spots on the sidewalk or whatever. And he was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, well, I'm this kid's uncle. I'm like, I'm Uncle Willie. And that was like the only time I think he used his name in front of the kid.
Yeah. And at that point, you're just like, oh, this kid's kind of stupid, but no, he was just playing along.
Yeah.
He also, I also think it's very funny that like he had like on like, I think the day before Christmas Eve, he has the freaky Santa girl over, and after he gets the present, like the girl still wants to sleep with him. He's like, okay, a child just walked in. It's game time.
And he's just like, I'm tired. And she's like, oh, okay.
I mean, a 9-year-old just saw you
biting
on her thong.
Yeah.
I would I would probably stop if I were you.
Exactly. It's like the moment's been ruined.
That's probably the smartest decision Willie made in the entire movie, was not continuing the deed after Thurman walks in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So like towards the end of the movie, things get crazy, and a turn I probably should have been expecting, but not really. Was when dun 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 the Tony Cox elf ends up killing the boss.
Yeah, the boss or the mall cop.
I think it was just the boss.
He's like the security guy.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He ends up killing him so that he could get full money, all of it.
Also, he has an accomplice in his murder. I don't know if it's like his girlfriend or his wife or something, but
like
her name is
girlfriend.
Lois.
I almost forgot about her because she doesn't really do anything.
She's literally in the movie to kill this guy and window shop. So when they steal from the mall, he has a list of things that she wants.
Yeah. And I guess also her purpose is to just like show how better off Murray the elf is compared to Willie.
Mm-hmm. That too, for sure.
Because like, I actually have a stable girlfriend. You don't.
I have an apartment. You don't.
Mm-hmm. I'm not crashing with a 9-year-old. You are.
Exactly.
And, they attempt to do the heist. The heist is very successful. But while they're there, Willie goes to the toy section to get a Christmas present for the kid.
Yeah, for Thurman.
Yeah, for Thurman. He wanted a stuffed elephant. However, it's double-cross time, baby.
Shame, shame, shame.
Murray turns on Willie because of how terrible he's been and tries to kill him. But then the Fuzz arrives and tries to shoot all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willie gets away, but he doesn't really even have the money. He's just determined to get the present to this kid.
Yes.
Because it's Christmas Eve. He's a good kid at heart. And actively, while Thurman is making sandwiches for him, like, he makes it to the doorstep, but the police gun him down even though he's unarmed.
Yep.
All he's holding is a pink elephant. I think it was purple, actually. He's just...
It was a debate. It was like he wanted the pink one at first, and then he wanted the purple one, and Willie couldn't remember, and I think he got the pink one.
Yeah, but the thought that counts.
Yeah,
he gets the elephant, and he's just shot down by the police. But during the epilogue, we discovered that he actually survived the shot, and
yeah, they shot him 8 times and missed all vital organs, which is
insane.
crazy.
Actually insane. And they're actually, and he miraculously did not get to go to prison because of the note that was sent to the cops.
The note that Thurman had, he gave it to the cops at the end, and they were like, oh, so actually he doesn't need to go to prison. So he ended up avoiding jail, which is pretty miraculous on his end, actually, for being a felon.
Mm-hmm. And, he's just in the hospital and should be getting better. And he gives the kid an additional Christmas present outside of...
the now bloody elephant.
Yeah. And we see that it's a T-shirt that says, S happens when you party naked.
Yeah. Which is an interesting shirt choice, for sure.
Uh-huh. And, yeah, we find out that Mrs. Claus's sister lady, as the kid's been calling
the waitress.
Yeah, the waitress is now the caretaker of Thurman until his dad gets out of prison.
We also find out that Lois and Marcus, the two that helped him in the heists, also went to prison.
Yeah, they were on an adventure with his dad. And finally, the movie ends with Thurman kicking the bully right in the happy region. And we get a big old Christmassy ending.
Yep.
So, yeah, Bad Santa. Bad Santa's very good.
I enjoyed it.
There is a sequel to this movie, Bad Santa 2. Neither of us have really watched it.
I
assume.
have not seen it, no.
It doesn't look very good. I watched the trailer, and I don't know. It just looks like another sequel that doesn't need to exist.
No, there are a lot of those, yeah.
Yeah, Willie's mom comes in, and she serves as like the Mrs. Claus of the group. And for whatever reason, he's working with Marie again, even though he almost tried to kill him.
Yeah, I noticed that in the picture on the front.
Yeah.
Because when I searched Bad Santa on HBO, the picture for Bad Santa 2 was like all of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing what I know now about Bad Santa, it's like, why in the world are you still working with, like, he just tried to kill you in the last movie. Like, what are you doing?
Sequel, that's why.
That is true.
You gotta bring everybody back.
You want to get that money grab.
Mm-hmm. So, final verdict, Gillian. How, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being a giant Pooh Bear and 5 being a grand spanking castle, how would you rank Bad Santa?
Well, like I said before, I give it like a 4.5 out of 5. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I don't think it would be like a Christmas classic in my house, but, you know, I'd watch it.
Definitely not in my house. But, yeah, I really enjoyed this film. It was, if you know what you're getting into, you're going to have a blast with it. I've never met a person who dislikes it because they look at the poster, they realize it's not their thing, and they don't watch it. So
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
As someone who had never seen even the poster, I literally heard of it when you asked me, like, hey, do you want to watch this movie? And I was like, sure, why not? I'd love to be on your radio show. And I was like, okay, guess we're watching this movie. And I searched it up, I hit play, and I had no idea what was happening. I didn't even read the description, watch the trailer. I just went straight into the movie. And I still really liked it.
Alrighty. Anyway, guys, that will be it for this week's episode. Gillian, do you have anything for plug?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. Please be sure to join us next week on the Happiest Cast on Earth, where we will be looking at episode 1 of the Disney Plus foreign drama series, Snowdrop. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later. Bye.